Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Brendan with Neuway Media, and today I wanted to talk to you guys all about my top 8 favorite drone shots that I like to get whenever I'm shooting aerial footage. So this video is basically just to give you guys some new ideas of some new different types of shots and ways that you can mix up your aerial footage. And also I just wanted to offer some tips and tricks on how to get really good professional looking aerial shots, some things to avoid, and the number one most common mistake that I see amongst aerial footage in general, and the easy way that you can fix it. So number one, the easiest and most basic drone shot that everyone can do, requires very, very little skill, is just the static aerial angle shot without the drone moving whatsoever. And just that perspective alone is often enough to really liven your video up. So first and foremost, I wanted to mention just the static drone shot. It's a good one to have in your repertoire. It's a good one to do every time you're getting your drone out, just to have it. There's not a lot of ways you can mess it up, honestly, because it's so easy to get. So definitely, that's number one on the list. Now, second up is the top-down or bird's eye view angle. This is where you're looking straight down 90 degrees on your subject. This is a really unique perspective because we rarely see 100% above the subject like that. And it can also, again, it's a different perspective, and it also shows the relationship of your subject to the rest of the space and the rest of the environment in a different way, because you're literally seeing the exact space between your subject and other things in the scene. Bird's eye view angle is a really cool one, and sometimes it's one that can be forgotten about. Really wanted to mention it. It's a super cool one. And to make it even more interesting, you can add a compound movement to that while pushing downwards or pulling upwards while you're looking down. That can be really, really interesting and a way to mix it up even more. So my third favorite type of drone shot is the dolly shot. This is where you're either pushing in or pulling out. The push in dolly shot draws attention to the center of the frame, draws attention to your subject, whereas a dolly out type of a shot, what's nice about that is you're actually revealing more of the environment. So you're on the edges of the frame, more of what's behind the camera comes in front of the camera, and you're actually revealing information as you're backing up. You're also making the subject matter smaller because it's going further away from camera, and that can add a whole lot to your narrative as well. My fourth favorite drone shot is the truck shot, or trucking left or trucking right, where the drone is actually flying left, flying right. This type of shot can also reveal new information. If you're not adding a pan in the shot, you're just keeping the camera always looking in the same direction. You either want to be like following a subject, revealing information, drawing attention to something, or something along those lines. So for my fifth favorite drone shot, I already mentioned the top-down bird's eye view angle, but I wanted to enhance that even more for a different type of shot. You can do it static, top-down, just static, not moving the camera. If you do that while you're spinning, that is a really, really rare shot you don't see very often. And as you can see from this example footage, it's a really cool type of shot. Really rare, really unique, but it can really make your video a lot more interesting. Now, number 6, this is probably, along with the push in and pull out and dolly shots, this one is also one of the most popular that I see, and this is the one that I see messed up the most often, and that is the orbit shot, where you're trucking left or right while also panning. But the most common mistake that I see with those types of shots is either too fast of a movement, where it just feels really jarring and intense, and the pan is too quick, or where I see the pan especially starts and stops and starts and stops. Try to drop your sensitivity on your controls and do slow orbit movements. You don't need to be like rapidly orbiting your subject, just really nice slow movements. And this goes for all types of drone movements, not just the orbit shot, but every kind of a shot. Just a little bit of movement, adding that little bit of parallax can go such a long way. You don't need to have like a Michael Bay extreme action-packed type of a shot in order to make your video more interesting. Just the fact that the camera is a higher perspective on your subject is already fresh and unique, and something that's gonna bring your video to the next level. So you don't need to go crazy with it. What's more important is having a really crisp, controlled, smooth movement, and that's gonna make your shot look a lot more professional. Now for number 7, again, I've already talked about the push in and out, the dolly in and out shot. Now we're gonna expand upon that even more. This is the next level, and that is when you're dollying in and out while also tilting in order to keep a subject centered in your frame. So if you're pushing towards an object, you're gonna have to tilt down to keep that object in the middle of the frame. When you're doing something like that, that adds, it's what we call a compound movement. Just like with the orbit, where you're trucking and panning, now we're gonna be dollying and tilting. So these types of compound movements add that extra level of parallax, allow you to keep the same composition throughout your whole shot. But again, what's important to remember about these types of compound movements when you're using both joysticks simultaneously is you want it to be smooth and controlled, and you don't need to go crazy fast in order to create a really cool effect. Slow and smooth and controlled is a lot better, so that way the shot doesn't feel jittery, the pan or the tilt isn't starting and stopping, you know? You want it to be nice and smooth. And last but not least, my 8th favorite drone shot is the jib shot. Now you can enhance this even more, again, by doing a tilt while you're jibbing. So if you're jibbing up, you can tilt down. That's really cool. Whatever floats your boat. But jib shots are really, really awesome shots. Again, it sort of can reveal more information because as you're jibbing, you're going higher up, you're revealing more and more and more out on the horizon, or you know, more of the environment basically is what you're doing. And also a jib down shot can be going, you know, from a wide establishing shot, jibbing down on a subject that you're close to, maybe at eye level on a person. So you can go from like that wide establishing shot in one take going down to like a good medium shot or close-up or something. And it's really good for narrative storytelling purposes. So yeah, those are my top 8 favorite drone shots that I like to get, that we like to get at Neuway Media. Hope these tips helped you guys out. I think the most important takeaway in this video is to keep your shots smooth and controlled, and also try to motivate your movements whenever possible, whether you're following a subject, whether you're revealing new information, or whether you're trying to draw attention to a subject or something like that. So thank you guys for watching. Again, this has been Brendan with Neuway Media, and I will catch you guys in the next one.